and welcome as I bring you 5 easy nail designs, and these will be done in a stamping way. I'm bringing you a bunch of green to some red. So what I thought I would do, as you know me, the maxi way of it all, one hand red, one hand green, and I'm going to do the designs on top with the green and the designs on top with the red. Yes, there's 5 easy designs here. I'm going to do easy because stamping does take a lot of the work out, especially if you've learned how to stamp. And I have videos like that on my channel, so of how to stamp correctly. But if you do want an up-to-date newer video to do with how to stamp, let me know. But we are going to get into these 5, so it's kind of like 10, I guess, but 5 and then another 5. I'm just going to switch. So we definitely need to get into that, and we definitely, because the holidays are coming, and sometimes you want design, but you don't want to have to finish it with a line brush, which can make it harder. So that's why handy dandy book is coming out to play. That's right. That is right. We got to bring out my handy dandy hollow of it all. So of course we need a stamper. These are scratchers here that you use to stamp with, and then I'll go get my nice stamper as well. So first we got to find some stamping plates that we can use. And we need one maybe to do with a snowflake and all of that awesomenesses. So we are doing that for sure. Need to just get through all of these plates here and get the niceness of it all. And 100% have plates I can do this kind of stuff with. That would be silly if I did not, right? That would be very, very silly to not have it. I just need to look through and find it. So there we go with the middle one there. The snowflake of it all to do a majority of the work to make it easier for myself. And this feels like it's probably pretty thick lines. So any polish very likely will work with this. So yes, I'm not going to be using polish made for stamping, so that will make it slightly trickier. So it's beginner, but if you have a very, 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 very pigmented color and it goes on in one coat pretty much, then you won't have much problems because that's how they are. But there we go. I will have to add some little bit of lines, but that's okay, as snowflakes are not the same. To all the snowflakes and all the candy canes, I'm even going to add a little bit of gradient of a sparkle. So let's get to all these awesome nail designs that I have twinkling in this brain of mine and doing it my maxi way, like I said. So let's get to it right here and all. Put on this nice brickbat of a base here for these nails. And I'm using another one. This one was hot dog, and this other one is to do with Berry M, that is sheer, to give it a little more of that juicy red, because it's the closest I have to reds at the moment. And then my thumb with the green, doing what's on my other hand, giving that. So I'm just holding in all the color with a nice top coat before I start the design. Now let's start with the first one. This is the one to do with snowflake. Let's get to it. Yes. This is not how you fully should do a stamping when you are scraping the color off. I did a few times because my scraper was a little dirty with polish. I didn't clean it properly, and I did have to go back and get it. But there we go. It is a little hard to see as this is a sparkly stamper see-through, so it's harder than the non-sparkly ones. But there we go. Really going down on it. But of course, on the stamp, or you want to do it softer to get the design up. Whoopsie, but I did move the little bits flattened back onto the nail and did it twice. Okay, I told you I wasn't going to do it with a line brush, but because it needed to be lined out, at least I have the base of what it is. So I'm just lining out the lines that are already there, so I have a guide of exactly where to put my lines. So I'm not worrying about it getting too all over the place. At least it's like you got the lines to help you with this, because sometimes this happens when you stamp. So this is what I'm doing, just outlining the stamping lines that I have put down on my nail and all of that. Now I'm just doing the out, because all you're going to do is just one pointing one way, one pointing the other way, making V's. That's what I'm doing. Making these with my green of a snowflake on top of the red. So that's all I am doing. So yeah, really granted, this is very, very, very simple. Simple. It's probably a strange color, but who says you can't be strange of it all? So yeah, there it is in its glory. Now to the second nail. This one's really simple. I'm just using the actual brush, putting on the polish. Yes, I'm kind of figuring with it as it was thick, so I went back and took some polish off and then added more and did it thinly, and I'm making them as good as I can. To me, this kind of looks like the back of a turtle shell, kind of, because the way it's going on. I'm just doing the best, dabbing, kind of. I don't really mind if it is not smooth fully, because I've done the base already. So this is just, and then I am going back on them a little bit, as you can see now, very thin amount of polish on it afterwards, after I let it dry a little bit, to make them a little bit more opaque. Yeah, so, and a nice top coat will help clean it up. But now we're going to use an actual color that is a stamping polish, because I think this might help because of it being like a very close to white color, because I'm using the same stamper plate, and there's this one with snow and Christmas trees. So that's what I wanted to do here, as you can see. And some of the white went on with the green tree. That's okay. Oh, got a little bit I don't want, so I'm just kind of carefully taking that off of the stamper. And now I am putting it down on this nail design of them. Yes, this one. And there it goes. But because the snow part didn't work, I'm just using the line brush to put some quick little dots of color. Don't have to be perfect. It's just some snow to look like it's falling, like the stamp image, which for some reason that part didn't work. I think the hole was just too tiny. So, and then I wanted to add some green just to give it a little bit of the gradient. So, and here is the simplest one I've doing with some sparkle. I'm just using a Holo Taco topper that is a flaky one, my gold one, and I'm taking some of it off, which I don't mind. And so I'm trying to flare it out so it kind of has that gradient technique. And now I'm doing as simple as possible the candy cane, not Canada, candy cane nail here. Yeah, and as you can see, one of the lines got a little too covered up, but we'll fix that in a minute. So yeah, I'm just kind of letting it do its thing and doing as much, using the side of the brush, not the full flat part. And I did use my line brush just to put a little bit of polish there so I wouldn't go too over top of that red. This is this brick red without the sheer red on top of that. And then I'm just kind of filling it in to a point to kind of flare it into the area as best I can. It's not like wow, but it did it great. Now I'm just holding all these 5 designs in with a nice top coat of it all. Looking nice to the red and the green with some gold sparkle, and bringing in some of those nice trees. And of course, the candy cane of a thumb Erstens. There we go. Doing my nails for sure. So it was very simple and everything and all that. And then with this one, I did do a simple stamp. The only thing was that the part that's like the snowy part wasn't getting picked up in any way when I was using like a very pigmented actual nail stamping colors, because I think the hole is just so teeny. It couldn't get the color pretty fully onto the stamper, it seemed like. So as you saw, I dabbed them on and they looked fine, especially after I put a top coat. This one was pretty easy, simple. Just make sure there's not too much polish on the brush. If you think it's too thin, like you saw, you can always add a little bit on top. Just brush on a little bit, because a lot of times the top coat will really help that. So I hope you enjoyed these 4 designs. This one was definitely the most simple. The candy cane lines. And that was done the opposite way of the other nails on this. And then, as of course, you can see, and I did do the stamp on this. It did mess up a little bit and some of the stamp went side, but that's okay because I kind of used it on the top there as one of the lines, because typically they have the lines going outward like that. So with these 4, for the most part, beginner friendly designs and everything, all I did is dot it. I didn't do any, you can tell the dots aren't perfect, but at least it added that little bit something to the nails and stuff, and I did so if you tune back next week, I will be doing more of a Christmassy feeling with more sparkle of a awesomeness. So if you want to see the more sparkle come to life than just a little bit of the gradient, then for sure come back next week for the sparkle crazed of it all and everything. Right now I only sparkled in a little bit, but next week a bunch of sparkle is going to rain down on this next manicure. But for now, let's enjoy the green nails with red, the red nails with green, in all of the maxi way of it all. So with all that, and the Christmas feeling coming to life, oh yes, till next time, sparkle, sparkle, bam!